This show is brought to you by HostBaby.com, web hosting for musicians.
Last week on Music Marketing Monday, we talked about alternative performance spaces. Time to move on to the next topic, right? Oh, no, we got a lot more to say. So here on episode 29, it's more about new places, fresh approaches to reaching new fans, getting exposure, and selling more music and merch. Stay tuned.
Information, inspiration, motivation for the modern musicpreneur.
Time to start your week right.
Here it comes, Music Marketing Monday, with your host, Bob Baker,
Mr. Buzz Factor,
and Billy Gryzak.
The Music Marketing Mind.
Ready? Are you sure?
Set.
Here it comes. Swing, baby.
Before we start the show, I want to take one moment out to say thank you for listening. Thank you for telling your friends. Thank you for sharing. I know you've been doing it. By the way, this is not a one-man show. I'm Billy Gryzak. I'm the Music Marketing Mind, and this is
Bob Baker, Mr. Buzz Factor, author of the Guerrilla Music Marketing Handbook and other stuff. Yes, indeed. We are appreciative of all the listeners out there and people commenting and sharing and downloading and all that good stuff.
Yeah, right before we hit record, we were talking about how it seems like every time I turn around, I see a little posting here like, yeah, and I remember when Bob and Billy were talking about that, and Bob said maybe we should do that. And, man, have you heard the Music Marketing Monday podcast? I mean, it's great. You guys are spreading the word. We love it, and thank you again. By the way, Bob, was the chat awesome?
Yes, that's right. You did the first one without me on Labor Day, but I was able to join in this past Monday, and that was a lot of fun. The time actually flew by pretty quick, too.
And there was a lot of great connections made. So if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, right after you listen to the show, if you listen to it on a Monday morning or whatever Monday you happen to be listening to this, any Monday at all, around 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I didn't mean to confuse you. So we'll say 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hop on Twitter and type in the hashtag MMMchat, and you can join in, and we have a live chat with as many people as we can fit into the Twitterverse, usually talking about the topic that we covered in the show in the morning. So just because when you're done listening to this episode today doesn't mean that we're done. Now we get a chance to actually discuss it and have like a roundtable discussion on Twitter with you, and it's super exciting. So once again, that's hashtag MMMchat. It's so awesome, and I hope everybody can make it today.
That's right. My fingers were flying furiously during that hour. But yeah, it's 3 p.m. Eastern, that's 2 p.m. Central, and straight up 12 noon Pacific, and you can figure out if you're in some other time zone when that is for you.
And it was really cool. We had participants from Scotland. We had participants from England and Australia and Canada, and even right here in the USA.
That's right. Yeah, that was very cool. It was an international audience.
Some of them
were probably just waking up. Some of them were getting ready to go to bed. Who knows?
So let's see, Bob. Just to get back on track here, because, if anybody's been listening to us for a while, they know we have a tendency to digress the digressions. We just keep going. But let's see. We're in the process right now of giving you exactly what you asked for when we asked for topics. We've covered publicity in a couple of episodes. We've covered unusual venues last week. So we're moving on to a new topic, right, Bob?
No, not we haven't finished covering alternative venues. Next week, we'll move on to a new topic. We must continue our exploration of different, fresh, kind of out-of-the-box places to play.
Well, that sounds great. So where do we leave off, and what's next on the agenda, Bob?
Well, I'm trying to remember. I know we talked about you talked about shopping centers and retailers last time. We talked about church gigs, and I know a few other things. I think you talked about the railroad. Oh no, maybe that was the Twitter chat. You were talking about the train station or something. But basically, I was looking over. I linked in my show notes at thebuzzfactor.com. I linked to this article that we referenced on the CD Baby, the DIY musician blog that they have. And there's this piece from late last year, which it lists like 30 different alternative venues. And it was interesting. I was actually looking at the comments section before we recorded this morning for the first time. And it's interesting the different attitudes. Like some people like real eager and open and going, oh yeah, I did that and did really well. And, holidays is another thing that's coming up that people should probably be aware of. But there were a lot of like negative, yeah, but, the people with the yeah, but attitude.
By the way,
but that's not really sustain a professional music career. And it just seems like there's a lot of people are closed-minded about this stuff.
And for a deeper dive into your big butt, go back to episode number 1 of our show, because we talk about your big butt. That's always been a biggie. Anyway, actually, I agree. I was looking through the comments today, and I was like, wow, there's some people that are really positive, like, and one really reminded me of this fella. Let me see where it is. I think it was Philip Wesley. Was talking about how he does like stuff around Christmas time and makes a lot of money. And it reminds me, there's a local grocery store chain here, and they actually ask people to come in on the holidays and play music, not just like the high school choir and stuff, but like I was in there like a couple times and I saw like guys I know from bands, and like one dude's in there playing his saxophone one day, another guy's playing piano, other guy's singing, playing guitars, and they had their merch table set up, and they had tip jar, and basically the supermarket wasn't paying them, but they gave them basically a captive audience because they were playing right in front of the checkout, and we're in between the two doors. And it was awesome. It just made this atmosphere of holiday festivity, and people were very into, purchasing their product and giving them tips because it's the holiday season. I was totally blown away by that.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gearing up. A year or two ago, I created something called holiday music marketing, and it was just like hour-long plus video thing. I'm actually redoing it on a different platform, but yeah, it's actually that time of the year when you now have to start planning for what you're going to be doing during the holidays. And I think a lot of musicians will actually sort of not give it a lot of thought because it only comes it comes once a year. It's kind of short lived. There's like this intense maybe 4 to 6 week period. But if you can make it an annual thing, and there's some artists who have really done some incredible things, where like annual holiday concerts or whatever, or just play the malls or stores, or every artist has their own way of how they approach it. But it can be lucrative if you put some attention on it.
Right. In fact, I've been in addition to doing kids music and whatnot, I've been working on the zombie project for about a year. It's just been kind of a hobby, so I haven't really been pushing it,
I see this coming. Zombie Christmas music. Don't tell me.
That's actually not a bad idea, Bob. But no. But there's this is the time of year when all the haunted houses open. Oh, and I had 2 or 3 different haunted houses contact me to find out if we wanted to perform outside of the haunted house, because there's usually huge lines, and it would be a great opportunity for us to play, Halloween themed music outside or inside or whatever to a captive audience. Captive going. And yeah, I mean, there's a very interesting idea right there, so kind of cool.
That is cool. I mean, there's just all sorts of ways to approach this, and no one's. I don't think we're saying that your whole career has to be necessarily around all these different niches. Although that it can be. There's just things to explore, and you never know where it's going to lead. In fact, I don't know if even last week, if we even mentioned or touched on house concerts much. But I earlier, like back in May, I was able to, I did a podcast audio interview with Shannon Curtis, she wrote a book on how she had actually grossed $25,000 in a 2-month period doing nothing but house concerts, and it opened her eyes to this whole new way, and her whole business model, her summer tours are all house concerts. And she started off at maybe 25 or 35 dates the first year, did 50 last summer, and then did 60 plus this past summer. And I had the good fortune of meeting her and her husband. They actually did a house concert in St. Louis, and I got to hang out with them and go to their show and see how she does it and how she pitches, her merch, and how she gets the host to and she doesn't ask for the she doesn't call them tips. She doesn't refer to it as gas money. She has a very specific way that they do things. But she has the host ask for donations and explain how Shannon's an independent or an independent musician. It's how she makes her living, and please support her if you enjoy this experience, and it was really just cool to watch. And so she has actually taken this one angle of alternative venues and made it her whole live performance business model. So any thoughts on that?
I do. And the thing is, some people don't understand the difference between a house concert and a house party. Now, and these are two definite opportunities for you. You have to understand they're very different. A house party is where the people are getting together for some other reason, whether it's a birthday, an anniversary, a frat house, whatever it is, and they bring a band in as part of the event, and it's not necessarily, you're not necessarily there to have people sit down and pay attention to you. You're there to add value to their event. Okay,
they're like hiring you. They're like hiring you as their entertainment that night, and you may just be background noise.
Right. So it's really important to understand, because a lot of when I talk to musicians and even some people when I'm proposing a house concert, they don't understand the difference between a party with a band and a house concert, and they are different. Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as house concerts go, this is something I've been trying to get into myself, and just because you know what, I just had this conversation the other day with a fella. It's like bricklayers generally don't go home at the end of the day and build chimneys for fun. You know what I'm saying? So, me personally, I get so caught up in helping other people to book their shows and their careers. Sometimes I forget to do things myself sometimes I think I should hire myself as my own consultant, so I remember to do the stuff I need to do. But getting back to it, a great resource is called houseconcerts.com. For house concerts, and there you can find actually potential venues. They have a page, and they list people that are willing to do house concerts from Alaska all the way to Wisconsin. So it looks like they have most of the states there. And then they also, I don't know if it's a paid thing or not, but they actually have a list of singer-songwriters that are willing to do house concerts on another page. And then they have a whole book, literally, on how to host a house concert. So you might want to check this out as a resource. It's houseconcerts.com. They are not a sponsor. We have no affiliation whatsoever. But if they'd like to be a sponsor, you can contact us. Anyway, so
there is this like house concert circuit, like people that regularly host them. And Shannon was aware of that, and I think she kind of looked into all of that. But she actually doesn't do that. She actually taps exclusively her fans. She goes, "Hey, I'm going to be in the area, or I'm setting up our summer tour. Who would like to host us?" And so it's actually people that are already fans of hers that probably normally don't host house concerts are doing this for her. And now that she's on her third summer tour, she has repeat houses, and then there are people in the area who attend these things that go, "Hey, could you do it at my house too?" With a different group of friends, and so it's just built over time. And she's not background noise. She specifically has specifications for what she requires to be able to do it. They need to bring at least 20 people to the thing. They're there for one. She does a 1 hour set where she expects people to be sitting and listening to her, not walking around and chatting, and she has a whole system of how she controls the everything so that it's a great experience for the people that come, but it's also beneficial for her and very lucrative too.
So what was her name again?
Shannon Curtis, and I will, in my show notes at thebuzzfactor.com under the podcast link for this episode, I'll link to not only her site but to the there's a two-part interview I did with her, and I might actually be teaming up with Shannon to do actually a paid teleclass series, or we might do a 2-part thing where people can actually get on and ask her questions. But I'll get back to that later when we set that up. But yeah, that was an awesome example of really taking an alternative niche and just really focusing on it and making it, like I said, a big part of your whole business model. And
I have a little, what's the word for advice for anybody that's thinking about doing this. Check this out. Occasionally, if you're a localized band and you have fans, people do get transferred from their jobs or move for different reasons, right? And the first time I got asked to do a house concert was actually one of my fans from Wisconsin had relocated to Alabama. And they were still on my mailing list. And I had listed on my website that I was doing a library tour of Alabama. And they said, hey, Mr. Billy, we live in Alabama now. Is there any chance you could come down here and do a house concert for us while you're doing your tour? So, when your fans move away, that's a golden opportunity to still connect with them and to maybe open up some new targets for playing that you could use as an anchor to try and book some other gigs in the area. So, even though when fans move away, still stay in touch with them because this is a golden opportunity to maybe tap new markets.
Right, and I've known for years too, there are artists who will maybe book a typical venue, like a paid venue, or maybe even a corporate gig or something is bringing them into a certain city, and that's their, they've got all their expenses paid. Then they send an email out going, hey, I'm going to be in Dayton, Ohio, or whatever the city is on this date. Would anybody like to host a house concert in the days prior or right after? So while you're in the area, you can build little things around it since you've already got your expenses covered to get there, and back.
Absolutely.
So that's another approach.
Now, here's a venue I'm considering doing. I might be too late for this year, but I'm definitely going to tackle it for next year. Where we live, we're really close to the Green Bay Packer Stadium, and Green Bay Packer football is like religion here in Wisconsin, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I just found out recently that you can get a vendor's license for $300, which gives you the right to sell things on Packer Day around the stadium as long as you have one of the businesses or whatever, so you'd have to negotiate with the business, says that you can use their front of their store or their parking lot or whatever. So for $300 a year, plus whatever negotiations you can make with the gas station or the sandwich shop or whatever, the convenience store, you can actually set up whatever you want on Packer Day. And there's like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people on game day. And let's say I did something that was even remotely Packer oriented, like we just dressed up in Packer clothes, football colors, and let's say maybe I decided to do either a football theme CD or one song that was on a CD of all my other songs, we could just go out there and perform right there on the street and sell our stuff to a captive audience that's ready to spend money on their favorite team.
Cool. So you just have to know that you'd be able to make back that $300.
I can't. Well, but $300 covers 8 games. That's not for one day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you see. So if you do, I'm really bad at odd numbers and even numbers doing math. But it's like what $30 a game basically is all it really boils down to. If you think about $30-$40,
right?
And what's that? 3-4 CDs.
Right, so you probably could easily, that definitely could be a lucrative.
Not to mention, forget selling stuff. If you're just good and people like what you're doing and you're entertaining them, because most people are just strolling around looking for fun things to do, and you make an event out of it, like taking selfies and and you're posting things and whatever you do to gather a crowd. The point is, you could be signing people up to your mailing list left and right. So right. It's a win-win-win-win. So I recommend in your area, go to the local municipalities and ask them about street performers licenses, busking licenses, performers licenses, anything like that, and then there's all these events. And a real big thing here is we have this farmers market every Wednesday, and there's gajillions of people go down there, and it's supposed to be, and they encourage performers and music, and it's crazy, man. I know people that go down there, make, $500-$600 just in tips, for a few hours. So, don't underestimate the power of the farmer's market or the flea market. And I have a wild alternative venue that,
it's wild.
This one's really out there. But
okay.
It's such a win-win-win for everybody.
Even more so than zombie Halloween Christmas songs. Okay.
Oh yeah. This is a great one.
All right, lay it on me.
Becoming the official yard sale band. Now think about this.
The yard sale band.
Right.
Okay.
Now, first of all, let's pretend that you're going to have your own yard sale. You got a bunch of crap you want to get rid of, okay? This is where it's a win-win-win for you and I've actually done this. What I do is I set up my yard sale, And then besides the yard sale, over on the side, we have a little bake sale. So we have like some goodies and we go get, a whole bunch of cans of pop from Sam's Club or whatever, Costco. And because it's always hot, so we sell water and pop and cakes that my daughter makes and whatnot. So she sets up her own little stand. Then I set up the band on the lawn. And it's like, it draws people's attention to the yard sale. So you got music playing out there. So it's like people will be drawn in just to listen to the band. Then they'll buy your stuff from the yard sale, buy your pop, whatever, sign up for the mailing list. You're going to sell your CDs and T-shirts right there on the lawn, man. And then if it works out for you, which is something I'm going to try, offer your services to other people that are having yard sales and say, hey, would you like to?
And if you become known as the yard sale band, every weekend or every Wednesday or Saturday or whenever they have them, there's multiple people having yard sales, and you could actually get into a bidding war, where people, we want them. No, we'll pay you more if you come to our yard sale.
Don't laugh. I mean, you could be the yard sale band and create a following of people that go see the band at the yard sale. I mean, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this because this is a great idea.
Yeah, I'm under wraps.
I'm off to the patent office, man. But seriously,
here's the thing. I'm just thinking this. I'm just hearing about it for the first time. But if somebody's hiring you to play at their yard sale to draw attention to buy more of their stuff, but you're also selling stuff there, would they consider you competition? Like, we'll hire you to play, but don't sell anything because we want them to spend money on art. I can see you running. You have to figure that part out.
Well, I could see that might be a possibility, but you may not necessarily want to get paid anyway. I mean, think of the exposure. I mean, whenever I have a yard sale, I have hundreds and hundreds of people go through. And especially for my genre, I appeal to kids. So many people come with kids, and 9 times out of 10, the kids are bored and don't know what to do while the parents are going through all the stuff in the yard sale. So for me, it's like a super win, whether I get paid or not, because if I can entertain those kids and the kids want my blow-up guitars or they want my CDs or my T-shirts, and most importantly, I sign up the parents on the mailing list while we're there. It's a win whether I get it paid or not. But the opportunity to get paid once you create what's the word I'm looking for? A reputation for having a crowd. So, okay, check it out though. If I'm the yard sale band, right? And I now have a reputation that whenever I play, an extra 500 people show up. Wouldn't you want me at your yard sale, whether I'm selling my CDs or not?
I probably would. Yeah, if you had a draw.
Exactly.
So if you had the same thing at a venue, they're going, well, how many people can you draw? It's like a yard sale.
Oh, gosh.
The yard sale turns into this typical bar.
By the way, I know this is off subject altogether, but like I told him at the top of the show, we digress the digressions, right?
Right.
I will tell you about my guarantee.
Okay.
Have you heard about my guarantee yet? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. If I guarantee you, I don't know.
Okay. My guarantee for my not my kids show because we have a reputation on it, but I have this new band. It's called Big and Tall, and it's me and my son, and we play whatever we feel like. It's like mostly classic rock, and but we're funny. I mean, it's the same personality I bring to the show every week. So we're kind of like the Penn and Teller of music. My son doesn't talk very much, and I never shut up. So anyway, we also bill ourselves as the world's funnest 2-piece trio, so it's and that's not pound for pound, Bob. That's because I play bass and guitar at the same time.
Okay, I was wondering where that reference came from.
What is in this water that I'm drinking? Anyway, so the thing is this. Here's my guarantee. I say flat out in this promotional video I say, people always want to know what's our draw, And I say, we don't have a draw. We don't guarantee anybody's going to come to your place. But I guarantee that everyone that is there is going to stay there. They're going to have fun. They're going to dance. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to get on Facebook and take pictures. And they're going to promote your bar. And if people are not there having fun, and if if people don't stay, then you get your money back.
Oh, wow.
So I am so confident in our ability to entertain the people that they have there and turn a 2-person crowd, if they stick with us, into a 1,000-person crowd. I put it right out there and say you get a money back guarantee, because if I can't deliver what I say I do, I don't feel like you should pay me. Now, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of weird feedback from that one. And the best place to send that feedback is, of course...
Monday? What is our normal hashtag?
Well,
it's MMM chat, but it's
I'm thinking about dropping the other hashtag altogether. and just go with MMM chat all the time.
Just have one consistent hashtag. It's just too hard to keep track of more than one.
I agree. So we are officially destroying the music MM hashtag. That's gone. Boom, out of there. We now have hashtag MMM chat. We want to know what you think about that money back guarantee thing, okay? And you can also reach me at Music Market Mind on Twitter if you want to yell at me. Or if you want to ask Bob what's wrong with me, you can find him at
Mr. Buzz Factor on Twitter. It's MR Buzz Factor on Twitter.
And if you really want to yell and be angry, you can hit us up on SpeakPipe at
speakpipe.com/Mr. Buzz Factor. And so
okay.
We're sounding more and more like car talk all the time.
That's right, yeah.
So if you have trouble with your alternator or your starter, you can also contact us at
That's right. If your alternator, so hit it with a hammer. That's it. Just bang. So anyway, I'm sorry, Bob. That was a triple digression there. I'm sorry, and to the listeners, I'm sorry. But we're going to get back and talk about alternative venues for the last 3 minutes we have left.
Yeah,
now.
I'll have one more little point I'm making. I think it's probably time to wrap up the show. But one of the comments on the CD Baby page that lists 30 different ideas for alternative venues. Some guy in the but category was going, this is great for solo guitarists, but I play in a band, and this doesn't apply to me. But I remember somewhere in the CD Baby blog, they also have another site about the importance of being able to strip down your instrumentation. So if you do normally play in a band that has drums and bass and guitar and keyboards or whatever, can you do an unplugged version of what you do? Can you do something acoustically, or have the guy bring your percussionist bring a cajon or whatever, so that you can do smaller venues or radio stations or any number of these other places that we've been talking about. So you got I think this rigid thinking of this is the only way I present my music. I mean, if you're dead set on I've got to have a big stage show and lights and all that, then so be it, and focus on that. And but it sort of limits you to the types of places that you can play. But if you can be a little bit more flexible, it opens up possibilities, And so, think of stripping down what you do.
Actually, there was an article on the DIY Musician, and it's called "Strip Down, Double Your Reach."
That's the one I was talking about.
By Chris Robley, my buddy there, and it's a great article, and the comments are pretty entertaining.
Got a few butters in there too.
Oh yeah, there's always butters. So hey, we just coined a new phrase, butters. All right, man.
Butters.
That's
great.
I
think that rounds. I mean, there's some more we could talk about, but I think that we've kind of I think we've pretty much covered alternative venues.
And I'll give everybody a couple of more tips real quick. Don't be afraid to if you see a new business opening, and you see they're building it, for instance, and when they put up those signs to say things like now. What's it called? Hiring. Now hiring, because before the building's finished, they have to start hiring. So don't be afraid to walk into the place or call the hiring number of any business and say, hey, when you open up, would you be interested in our services, for grand opening? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Also, go to any mall, go to the mall office, find the mall office, ask for the marketing director. Don't be afraid to do that. And another thing, too, I meant to mention this, and I guess I'll mention it here. Sometimes money's always great. We want money, and exposure's really great too. But there are other things you need. Like last week, I found out there was a pizza parlor opening, and a friend of mine said, we're going over to this pizza parlor. We're doing face painting and balloons. I said, wow, you think he'd be interested in having a band out there? He goes, oh, maybe. And I said, well, tell him we'll come down and we'll play. And he says, and the guy says to me, what are you going to charge? I said, well, tell him, I don't care. I said, we'll come down and do it for free. But if he has some money or something, that'd be great. Right. So we went down and we set up outside. We got our bubble machine and we drew all these people in. And at the end of the day, the guy says, come on in, man. Lunch is on me. So I got paid in pizza, which is always good. And when we got paid in pizza and they brought the little thing over that they usually put the bill in, he said, this is for you. And then I opened it up and there was money in it.
Wow. Nice.
So I got, he just says, yeah, man, the least I could do is buy you lunch. And we didn't buy anything cheap. We had a lot of lunch. And and he still paid us, and that was because I offered to do it for free because he has having a grand opening. So, always look for opportunities. Look in the newspaper for people that are having Kids Day, car dealerships. There's a really biggie. They're always looking for things to have the big blow up gorillas outside. You know what I mean? Well, if they had a band outside, that would draw people too. So,
right.
whatever.
Or anything that or wherever there's a crowd gathering, if it's not a musical event, like these farmers markets are growing in popularity, and they mentioned in this list of 30 here, like green events, like whatever, holistic fairs or health, but anyway, where there's a crowd gathering, and especially if you attend it and there's no music around, find out who's organizing it and say, hey, would you use some live music? Because if there's bodies there, if they're bringing the people in, that's half the battle right there.
And one other thing, and this will segue into our show next week. Don't be afraid if you have the means. And these days, come on, guys, you have the means. Everybody's got a Mac or an Android or something with recording equipment. You can record on anything these days. I mean, come on. My big hit single was done on an iPhone. All right. If you look around your house right now, you have something to record on. And if you just take a few, take a week, a month, a weekend, however fast you record, if there's something coming up, let's say there's like a home show, see if you can figure out how to do like that one guy. Remember that guy? He wrote a song about a chair. You know what I'm saying? And what if you did like songs about, home remodeling just as a lark, as a joke? And then you went to the home show and say, hey man, I got a CD about home improvement, and the next thing you know, they might be paying you to play on the stage because that's something new and different they never heard of. So don't be afraid of that stuff. I've worked in doctors' offices and other places too, doing that kind of stuff.
I could see a new album full of yard sale songs in your future.
Don't laugh, man. This has been an epiphany for me. When next summer, in fact, maybe I'm messed up here. Maybe I should do it year round because that's a great opportunity now for me in the winter to go to Florida, California, Texas, where it's warm and they're having yard sales year round. I'll be the yard sale band touring the country playing yard sales near you.
It's their new hit single, Half Off in the Driveway.
Oh, Bob, dude, this is awesome, man.
It's half off in the driveway.
Okay, man. All right, before they start unsubscribing, we have to go. Anything you want to tell us about? You have any specials or any new products there?
I got a bunch of stuff swirling, but nothing is nailed down right now. So just go to thebuzzfactor.com and check out what I've got, what I got going. And you hit the podcast link, and you can you find all these episodes with show notes and links to the stuff that we talk about. And so that's the main thing. Thebuzzfactor.com, and check it out. There's a blog, there's a podcast, there's video clips, volumes of free stuff that you can peruse, and there's books that you can purchase too. So check it out.
Fantastic. And I do have something exciting going on. It's exclusive. It's a secret, so don't tell anybody, okay?
Mom's the word.
I have a private Facebook mastermind group going right now. It's by invitation only. We have 4 slots left. If anybody's interested in some intensive care, this is called the Music Career ICU. And it's limited to 20 people, so I think we've got 15 or 16 right now. Just kicked off, so we have a few slots open. There is an annual fee. I won't lie to you, but it's so low, it's laughable. And contact me directly at info@musicmarketingmind.com. Info, I-N-F-O, @musicmarketingmind.com. If you'd like in, this is a wonderful opportunity to be able to discuss anything in your career, even in your personal life. And we have hangouts and conference calls. We share information totally transparently. So if you're looking for that kind of support and a group that you can trust, talk to me, and we'll see if we can get you an invite to that.
Awesome. Glad to hear that you're doing that, Billy.
Thank you, Bob. Well, it came as an idea one day when I was reading thebuzzfactor.com, and I said, hey, look, this guy's doing some stuff there. I'm going to do that too.
Or in between sets at the yard sale, maybe.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, everybody. So keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for listening. Keep sharing and mention us. And don't forget hashtag MMMchat. It's also live on Mondays, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm out of here. I'm Billy Gryzak.
I'm Bob Baker. Thanks for listening. See you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Are you still there? Excellent! Now would be a good time to visit hostbaby.com for your free 30-day trial. Of course.